bonjour, what is up? Welcome back to another video. It's up on my phone. So today I'm going to be talking to you about the pros and cons of Tumblr. Now I know before this I've done Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and I think that's it. So this is Tumblr. Now Tumblr, I've been using Tumblr for many years. Like I have, it's ridiculous. I used it constantly, and Tumblr is one of those apps and websites that I find that you can like be proper obsessed with it, don't use it for a few months, and then become obsessed with it again. It's like one of those cycles. You're not just a casual Tumblr user. I don't think any of those exist. So I'm going to start as usual with the pros. It's free, as most things, as everything I've said, it's free. It's always a plus. It's easy to use. There are reblog and like buttons, very similar to Twitter. So if you know how to use Twitter, you can use Tumblr. Community is huge. As I said, I think every fangirl knows what Tumblr is. If they don't, they'd be living under a rock. Tumblr is like the place for the nerdy and the weird, and it used to, if you say Tumblr to some people, they think hentai, fetishes and sex. That is what some people think. And not going to lie to you, there are those blogs, but that is why there's restricted tags, restricted like mature view and stuff like that. But Tumblr is just a place where oodles and oodles of people come together and discuss whatever the hell they want. It is self-sustainable. Like, I very much enjoy self-sustainable websites in the fact that you can schedule your own posts, you do your own posts, as it were, and you can monitor your activity and your followers. Self-sustaining websites and apps are the one for me, just because I like to be in control. I'm a major control freak, so scheduling my own posts, I'm all there. It is mobile optimized. I personally prefer Tumblr on mobile. I tend not to go on it. I tend not to go on it on my laptop, just because, I don't know, it feels weird having it on a big screen or a bigger screen, and it works so much better on mobile, I find. You can have numerous blogs running at one time. I had 3 at the same time, each with a different, one was for fan fiction, one was for my anime obsession, anime and manga obsession, and one was just like what I called a dump account, okay? So you can have more than 3, I just happen to have 3. So numerous at once, and you can switch to them, like Instagram, you can switch to them during your time on the app and on the website. You can post pretty much whatever you like, as long as it's tagged, and of course there's community guidelines and stuff like that. Tumblr has gotten a lot more strict over the years, so different things are more likely to succeed than other things. Like there recently, I think I discussed it, there was a tag ban, basically, NSFW ban, where you couldn't like write smut, you couldn't read smut, you couldn't, there were no porn blogs, porn websites and stuff like that. I have no idea if that's actually come into effect, because I checked a bunch of Tumblrs that I know to be writing smut, and they're still there, and they're still posting smut. So I'm not quite sure if that actually happened. So, but they are definitely hammering down a bit more on the strict side than what Tumblr's used to. Like, it's by no means strict, but it's becoming more strict. But yeah, you can literally post anything. You can post links, videos, GIFs, photos, text posts, all that jazz about anything, and I'm sure there's going to be someone with the same interest as you. Which leads me on to, you can find anything and everything you want on Tumblr, although be very wary about what you read, because not all of it's true. As I said, you can do different styles of posts, your videos, your text posts, your GIFs, and your pictures and your links and all that. So many different styles you can do, so that's why I think Tumblr is the widest range social media outlet. Now on to the cons. These are always fun. Arguments, arguments, arguments. Never have I ever seen so many arguments happen on a social media site, and I have Twitter, okay? If you think Twitter is bad, Tumblr is worse. Like, there are a lot of activists on Tumblr, and they very much want you to agree with them. If you don't agree with them, you will be ostracized. It's just not fun. I tend to stay away from political views and stuff like that when I'm on my social media, because it just ends badly every single time. So, and yes, there is a lot of some activists go far, like way too far in my opinion, and suddenly turn it around so it's like proper hating. And yeah, there's so many arguments on there, because anyone can, because the comments is a very new thing on Tumblr. I say very new, it's a couple of years old. Along with all these activists, you've got easily spread info, like misinformation. I don't want to be quoting the cartoon character, but fake news is very much a thing on Tumblr, like seriously. I tend not to believe most things I read on Tumblr, but because of the large community and the amount of people wanting to make a difference, yeah, it very much, misinformation does spread. My issue with the repost on Tumblr is that a lot of artists, writers, and just people who originated the post don't get credit. I have seen all over the place with fanfiction, especially, people at the end of their fanfictions actually saying, like, do not reblog without my permission. Obviously people still do, because people are dickheads. So that is a major thing, and I have had it happen like a couple of times. Obviously no one's like stolen it, I'm not saying that happens, but once it's reblogged and reblogged and reblogged and reblogged and reblogged, you forget where it originally came from. Obviously it does say who wrote it sometimes, but it does, yeah, it is pretty bad. Especially when people don't credit you for your work, and that sort of thing really very much annoys me. Tumblr's algorithm is the ever-changing drunken aunt that just won't stop. They change their algorithm so often. I'm not quite sure what they're on. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. I'm not even sure what the algorithm is supposed to be doing at the moment. It's like the new tag ban I was telling you guys about. It just, that's part of the new algorithm. It's like, you can't use these tags. I'm like, stop, just calm down, no one's complaining. And the thing is that the things that people want to change, they're not changing. They're completely ignoring their fans. The staff are very questionable people sometimes. There is no ability to self-host on this blog, website / app, which means if Tumblr goes down, your blog is going down with it. I personally had a security issue with Tumblr, and I am fuming still. This was a few months ago, and I emailed them, never got a reply. Of course I didn't get a reply, because God forbid anyone actually do their jobs. So they used my email to email my contacts about their new terms and conditions, which is this whole tag thing. So my parents got an email from me, and it actually said to mum and dad. So they've not only hacked my email, they've gone into my email to see who these people are. And my parents genuinely thought it was me, because it said to mum and dad. And I actually had to post on my face, I had to post on all of my social media, like, look, if you're receiving emails from me, it's not me. I don't use my email. The only thing I use my email for really is for like subscriptions to like clothing and stuff. So I like get Hollister emailing me and stuff like that. So it's very frustrating, especially when you don't get a response. But Tumblr, without telling anyone, like, I wouldn't have known this unless my mum rang me the next morning going, yeah, what was that email about? And I'm like, what email? I don't email people. And yeah, it was just this whole term and condition. She's like, I wasn't reading all that. I mean, that was ridiculous. What was that, a law thing? And I'm like, no, it's Tumblr messing with my email. So I have definitely slowed my use of Tumblr because of this security issue. I've changed all my passwords. I've changed, I did debate deleting the email, but this email is my email. It's like, yeah, so Tumblr used to be one of my most used apps over the years, and I loved it, it was great, but this security issues, it was ridiculous. Especially the fact that I got no response for it. It's like, mate, you've literally hacked into my personal email. This is against all of the privacy laws. This is against your terms and conditions. Like, you happen to email people, funny that. So yes, it very much ticked me off, and that is the major con, is that I genuinely don't think your information is safe on Tumblr. That's for me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to hit the thumbs up down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. Hit the big red subscribe button if you're not subscribed to my wonderful magical internet family already. All my social media will be linked down below. Make sure you go and follow all of them. I am on there all the time, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.